Welcome to Sense of Style. I'm Stuart. 8 fragrances that embody rugged masculinity and virility. This video is for all those men out there working really hard, doing back-breaking, thankless jobs. I've got 8 very masculine fragrances for you. This one is for the entrepreneurs, for the risk takers, people that live very, very stressful lives, put themselves out there for the good of the community, and endure the stress because of it. This one's for you. This one is for the managers that work super hard, that have to deal with all kinds of complaints and do it stoically. This one is for rugged, masculine men. They're all different kinds of rugged masculinity throughout all the political spectrum. This is not a right or a left issue. This is an issue of being a traditional man, a stoic, a hard worker. We need fragrances too. We all want to smell really good. We want to be attractive. We want to be masculine. We want to smell good as well. And here's the thing. When it comes to this particular topic, I think the Gen Z get a bit of a rough go. I mean, they kind of deserve it in a way, but at the same time, if you look at their political affiliation, the way they vote, Gen Z vote way more traditionally masculine than any other demographic. In fact, it's created a huge gender divide in voting. So yeah, don't forget about Gen Z. You belong here too. Fragrance number 1, this is Dark Rebel Rider by John Varvatos. And if there was a fragrance that is a perfect fragrance for a guy's night out, whether you're going playing pool, you're going chasing women, you're doing bar hopping, whatever, this is fantastic. It is a leather fragrance that comes with a leather jacket, and that's fantastic. It has a lot of leather. But the thing that makes this stand out to me is this is the most pungent resinous fragrance that I own, right? So resins are nice. They're mildly sweet, but there's a mixture here. There's warm resins, there's fresh resins, there's a lot of olibanum in this, and there are also balsams, which are kind of like resins, but a little bit more bitter. So there's that. And what that does is sometimes it creates a bit of a smoky feel, and it does. There's some woods in here as well, but really it's the leather and the resins that stand out. The problem is the performance, and specifically the longevity. You're talking about 3 hours. Now, that is a bit of a pain. The projection is good, especially early on. It smells amazing. It's not perfect, but it is definitely masculine. Definitely consider this if that is your aesthetic. Fragrance number 2, this is Tom Ford's Noir Eau de Toilette. The weird thing about this one is this name can get confusing. The Eau de Toilette part is actually part of the name because the original Noir, Tom Ford Noir, which is an eau de parfum, that was made first. Then Noir Extreme, and then this one was just the Eau de Toilette, and it's important because the 3 are quite different. What this one is a modernized version of Habit Rouge. I mean, I don't think that was the intention, but that's what it smells like to me. They took all the rough edges out of this, and it's not that this is a bad fragrance. It's a great fragrance. It's a classic, but it's from 1966, so there are some rough edges there. So what they did with this, first things first, they took out the carnation note. Now that's a spicy floral, and so that carnation note, which has it has a tinge of like really old-fashioned. They took the carnation out, and instead they replaced it with oriental notes and spices, so it has the spicy quality. They also took out the powdery rose, making it a little bit less feminine, but they retained the powderiness. There's still plenty of citrus. There is citrus notes and lemon. The lemon here is famous, and it's muskier. So it's got a little bit more of a masculine element that way. But the main thing is it's very, very smooth. Some people would say it is a bit redundant, but I really do think this would be worth a purchase if you like Habit Rouge. But if any of the problems that I mentioned, the rose, the carnation, have been an issue for you, this would be a good buy. Fragrance number 3, this is Valentino Uomo Intense. And yes, this is an iris fragrance. But as somebody that owns 20 different iris fragrances, this one is the most masculine of any iris fragrance, and by quite a margin. for one simple reason. There is a ton of leather in this. This fragrance is iris. There's some vanilla in it too, so it's quite sweet. But the leather really is noticeable. It comes off as quite pungent. So yeah, you know, there's going to be a little bit of powdery iris, but a leather fragrance, that's super masculine. So, and I think that's part of the appeal. I think so many people love Valentino Uomo because they don't feel guilty about wearing the lipsticky iris or the super powdery iris. It's a little powdery, but yeah, there's a lot of leather here. Fantastic performance. You don't have to hear about this one too much. It's already a legend. Fragrance number 4 is a masculine masterpiece. This is Alberto Marias's Gucci Guilty Absolute. This fragrance is so good and so popular that it was immediately, like in the next year, copied by a niche house. And then the following year, another niche house grabbed this DNA and made a similar fragrance. That's 2 niche houses. As soon as this released, as I said, it's Alberto Marias. This is a masculine classic. I don't know if it's super popular with women, but my God, like most men really like it. Now, there's about 20% of the population that don't, but this is a video for rugged masculine men. So if you're watching this, chances are that's what you're looking for. This is absolutely fantastic. So it's going to have all the notes that you would expect. A lot of leather and a lot of woods. I'm not going to go into detail about them because what makes this fragrance so wearable and so popular is a very fresh evergreen note. It's cypress. It brightens it up, and it's got phenomenal performance. It makes you smell really masculine, but classy at the same time, too. This one's great. Fragrance number 5. Now, even rugged, strong, virile men need to date. If you're looking for a masculine date night fragrance, I recommend the original Armani Code. This is the very first fragrance I ever got. I liked it right from the get-go. And yeah, I know Armani Code has a reputation for being very sweet, but this was the first one. This one's almost 20 years old. So this is quite an old fragrance. You're not talking about the kind of vanilla and sweetness that you get today. And this has tonka. But it's what it's paired with that's going to be revealing. So first of all, there's a lot of citrus here. Bergamot and lemon off the top. So you do notice the citrus element, and that is one of the top accords. You get that for about 20 minutes or so. And then as that dies down, your tonka starts to rise. But the tonka comes with a lot of masculine notes. Tobacco is in here. The main note is leather. There's also gaiac wood, right? So gaiac wood, tobacco, and leather. Not exactly feminine notes here. And that's all a part of this fragrance that works with the tonka. So, yeah, it has got a date nighty feel, but it's definitely still masculine. You do get a hint of star anise, which is like a spicy licorice. All of these are like the kind of hints, the hints. But the grand scheme of things is a fairly masculine complement to the tonka. So this fragrance is actually still available. This is not like Absolute or Profumo that are a lot sweeter and have been discontinued. This one you can still get at a reasonable price, actually, at discounters, $66 for 75 milliliters, so less than $1 a milliliter. I get crazy good performance with this. I have heard that some of the newer concentrations, not quite as potent, but still more than adequate. Great date night fragrance. Fragrance number 6 is the Jora Sport 2021, and that iris note was so alienating to so many people by Dior that they changed their entire formula. This came out, this is sort of the follow-up from Dior Homme 2020. They moved to a woody citrus style fragrance. Very elegant, though, like super high-class woody citrus. This one, though, even though it is a woody citrus, you got lemon and bergamot off the top, and then you've got a bunch of woody notes in the base. This one is mostly fresh because you're going for a sports fragrance. So, yeah, you're dealing with 2 fresh resins, Elemi and Olibanum, which are very similar, actually. That's the core of the fragrance, but either way, it's going to come off as woody citrus. Very high quality. Oh, I can smell it from here. Damn. Yeah, it's great, Frank. Got good performance, too, but it's definitely woody citrus. That's what masculinity is. Now, this is a lovely fragrance. It really is. It smells nice, The problem with David Beckham fragrances is you're talking about 3 hours in terms of performance, like guaranteed 3, maybe even less. This one is around 3. I have a few David Beckhams that I got when I was starting out, but this is the only one that I still wear. It is primarily vetiver. There is a little hint of leather here, but it's the sweet leather kind. So you get a little bit of sweetness. But here's the thing. This is the problem with the performance is a lot of violet in this as well. Violet's a very clean note. You pair violet with vetiver, which is also very clean. That's hard to make last a long time. As I said, the leather is kind of sweet. This one is actually very appealing scent, very masculine scent. Anything with vetiver is going to be masculine. But yeah, just bear in mind you're looking at about 3 hours. Finally, we have Maison Alhambra's Afro leather. I know people don't like hearing clones. I do know this is very similar to Memo Paris's African leather. This one is super masculine. Now, it's a leather fragrance, but what I get from this more than anything is spices. There's a ton of spices here. Cardamom is the main one, but to me, cardamom is warm spicy. This is it almost feels like black pepper. It feels very peppery, very strong in that way. So it does have cardamom. It also has some anise. It's got, I guess it's probably the aromatic notes. There is geranium, and there's a fair amount of saffron here. So spicy aromatic. That comes across as well. Very, very spicy fragrance. Even the aromatic notes in this are spicy. Very good performance. I mean, this is one of the cheapest clones I have. It's like $20, but holy crap. The performance, the quality, the bottle, everything is super well done. I know for a fact that this is a damn good clone. And this actually has gotten better and smoother over time. So yeah, don't ignore it. For $20, you can go, it could be worse. And it's definitely very masculine. So yeah, hopefully you guys are still, not going to be seen as like this big political thing. I'm just saying, I'm a man. I like being a man. I'm comfortable with it. And these ones make me feel like a man. Take care, guys.